Yeah, I know you're not supposed to be hearing the music right now because this is kind of a more serious situation. There's a reason I have a warning in the title because this is going to involve a shooting that ends in a fatality. So, um, there's a little bit of a backstory of the particular individual. There's a lot of people saying a lot of things about it. And more recently, Chile was live today talking about this shooting. And I felt compelled to want to give uh, an assessment as to what happened. Yes, persnickety. I know, sorry. I know I should probably not do the dead air thing. I'm just getting some things uploaded here so I can get ready. So the issue is that in the Leonard Cure was actually wrongfully convicted in 2004. And he spent, I believe, it's 16 years in prison, but it was exonerated in 2020 and was released back then. He was also awarded over $800,000 as a result of it. Hey, Sathail. But we are now fast forwarding to what happened here. Believe you guys gotta let me know. This was dated. Where was it? The date of this was 6th to the 16th. So on October 16th. So there was the shooting, and then the biggest headlines was that an exonerated man was shot by a deputy at a traffic stop. But it was only until today, or no, excuse me, yesterday, I should say, that the full body cam, both the body cam and dash cam footage was released. And the way it sounds, well, I guess I want you guys to take a look at it. So the original purpose of the stop was, there's no audio here yet. So the original purpose of the stop was, this is Cure in the truck. Cure is driving over, allegedly over 100 miles an hour. Thanks, Brad. Over 100 miles an hour and kind of weaving in and out of traffic. Again, there's no audio here. As you can see, he's weaving in and out. While and at this point, the officer already has his lights and sirens. Although he may be, it may be. Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's go back here. So he's kind of going in and out of the thing, the lane right there, and now the officer puts off his lights. And then now he puts on his turn signal, assuming that he's going to slow down, but he elects to go back into the far lane, the far left lane, past these other vehicles. And he's still going. And now, finally, he decides to go to the shoulder. This is in Georgia.
We're stopping, Camden.
Clear off of that 20, return to white Subaru Forester.
10-4, change the item to a T-Tango.
Step out! Step out! Get out! Get out! Put your hands back here.
So the first thing in my first initial thought is like the cop is being a little bit aggressive here, but you know, I don't know how long he's been following him since the dash cam wasn't turned on, so he may have been observing him like driving like a maniac even more so than what we saw. But ultimately he does get out of the vehicle, but obviously Leonard is pretty defiant here. Where he said, I ain't doing ish. I ain't doing ish. And then he the cop puts his hand on him, and then he flips his arm around. And so that will obviously necessitate the cop taking out his taser. Also, by the way, I forgot, I didn't see this. This donation that came in overnight last night. Thank you, Tom, for the 1337. Thank you for your live streams. You do a wonderful job with your commentary and appreciate your time and effort. Thank you, Tom. And thank you, Damien, for the 8 months, man. I appreciate it. I'm not drinking anything tonight. Doesn't seem appropriate, but thank you.
Who are you? Staff Sergeant Officer Sheriff's Office. My name is Yahweh. I don't care.
He says, my name is Yahweh. So the other... All right, I'm just going to let this play.
In the name of the law of the state of Georgia, step back here now or you're getting tased. Watch me now. Put your hands on the back of that truck. Do you see that? Put your hands on the back of that truck. Back of the truck. Both hands. Turn around. 34, Kevin, send me another unit. One non-compliant.
Still have unit route 34 at the office.
Your name is Officer who? Staff Sergeant Aldridge with the Camden County Sheriff's Office. Who county? Camden County. Put your hand behind your back. Do I have a warrant? Wait, no.
All right, so now he's resisting. Here. Took his arm away from the cop as he was trying to get him behind his back.
Excuse me. Either put your hands behind your back because you're getting tased. I'm telling you that right now.
Why am I getting tased?
Because you are under arrest for speeding and reckless driving.
I'm not driving. Nobody was hurt. How was I speeding?
You passed me doing 100 miles an hour.
Okay, so that's a speeding ticket, right?
Sir, tickets in the state of Georgia are criminal offenses.
I don't have...
So I looked this up and excuse me, that reckless driving is absolutely an arrestable offense. And I'm not sure about speeding, but reckless driving is absolutely an arrestable offense. In Mackey versus State 296 Georgia app 675 2009. The defendant's claim in defense of a charge of aggravated assault against police officers, that the defendant was resisting an unlawful arrest was meritless, as the officers observed the defendant driving in a reckless manner. The officers were authorized to stop and arrest the defendant for reckless driving. And I also looked that, according to Georgia, the speeding would actually be would be merged with reckless driving, but that's neither here nor there. The point is that the officer does have the authority to arrest somebody for reckless driving.
I have a ticket in Georgia.
You do now?
Why?
You passed me doing 100 miles an hour.
And what? Am I going...
Hands behind your back. Yes, you are going to jail. Hands behind.
So he's kept refusing to put his hands behind his back, and he lights him up with the taser. It looks like one of the prongs hits.
Put your hands behind your back.
But now he stops. It's not a full connection though, because obviously he's able to wave around and get the tasers off of him, and this is where he charges at the officer. Again, guys, again, this is a warning from here on out. So the officer actually gets his baton out, but Leonard has his face on the officer's, has his hand on the officer's face, and he's like pulling him up like this.
Yeah, bitch.
Okay, and then I'm gonna stop here. He didn't call for backup, but I'm going to stop here because it was right around just after Leonard says, "Yeah, bitch," is when the cop shoots him once in the stomach. So the way I see it is that I basically would say that while maybe the cop could have done something, maybe not been hot-headed, but even notwithstanding any of that, everything that the cop did was within his authority. He had the authority to take him to tell him to get out of the vehicle. He had the authority to place him under arrest for reckless driving. He did call for backup, Jennifer, when Leonard was outside and it had his hands on the back of the truck. Obviously, well, I'm not denying any of that. I'm sitting here and telling you that the officer's use of lethal force was justified. I think it was clear that he was authorized to use lethal force. So the rest of the video is of the officer having him on the ground at gunpoint. Apparently, a Brink security guard comes in and also puts his firearm on him. It was after that that the cop was then able to put him in handcuffs, and the cop and the other arriving officers finally come in to try and give him medical treatment, but obviously it was too late. But here's the body cam footage that footage that stops here, that starts here.
Step out. Step out. Get out. Get out. Put your hands back here.
I ain't doing shit.
So actually, no, I mean, looking back at this, I mean, yeah, he yells, but then at the same time, this is also a highway. You kind of have to yell in order to get his attention. But obviously, I ain't doing shit is not really helping the situation.
Who are you?
Staff Sergeant Aldridge, Sheriff's Office.
My name is Yahweh.
I don't care. Step to the rear of this vehicle.
Why do you ask him to get out of the vehicle? He was doing over 100 miles an hour and kind of going in and out of the lane. So I think the cop already had it in his head that he was taking this guy in for reckless driving, which is an arrestable offense in the state of Georgia.
In the name of law of the state of Georgia, step back here now or you're getting tased.
I'm going. Watch me now.
Put your hands on the back of that truck.
Do you see that?
Put your hands on the back of that truck.
Back of the truck.
Both hands. Turn around. 34, can you send me another unit? One non-compliant.
So we're out of unit route 34 at the 8 office.
Your name is Officer.
I would argue it's self-defense. If the shooting is self-defense, then it's not murder. Murder, by definition, is an unlawful killing.
Staff Sergeant Aldridge with the Camden County Sheriff's Office.
Who county?
Camden County. Put your hand behind your back.
Do I have a warrant? No. Excuse me.
Either put your hands behind your back or you're getting tased. I'm telling you that right now.
Why am I getting tased?
Because you are under arrest for speeding and reckless driving.
I'm not driving. Nobody was hurt. How was I speeding?
You passed me doing 100 miles an hour.
Okay, so that's a speeding ticket, right?
Sir, tickets in the state of Georgia are criminal offenses.
I don't have a ticket in Georgia.
You do now?
Why?
You passed me doing 100
Okay,
miles an
criminal
hour.
offense and what? Am I going to
Hands
jail?
behind your back. Yes, you are going to jail. Hands.
So he was refusing to put his hands behind his back. The cop tases him. Like I said, it's only a partial connection because he does stiffen up, but it's obviously not enough to completely completely remove his motor skills.
Put your hands behind your back.
Now they're struggling. So here, the officer is now trying to get his baton, but I didn't even see that he tried to strike him to get him off him. But at this point, I think this is where Leonard has his hand on his face and is like pulling him up like that. And I think,
Yeah, bitch.
and then, right, like I said, right after Leonard says that is when the officer is able to pull out a service weapon and shoot him in the stomach. So people were saying, I think so, a handful of people are saying like the kind of like the answers that he was giving were soft sit. I mean, kinda, a little bit, but I wouldn't call him a soft sit. And the main reason why I need more, because him being defiant of the cop and challenging authority isn't sufficient for me to be giving him a soft sit label. I would say, Gary, I would say he's more of a jailhouse he got jailhouse knowledge, sure, because the whole reference to Yahweh is definitely something that you learn in jailhouse stuff. And then under whose authority, or he was asking like of what county. So yeah, I would say his defiance isn't enough for me to say that he's a soft set. It sounds to me more so that he said he also said he wasn't driving. That's fair, but again, I would need more to go for it. I know it's a religious thing, but I feel like I hear more about Yahweh like from, I don't want to say cranks, but it does seems like I hear from a lot of folks who kind of do dive it down into certain rabbit holes. So I would say again the shooting's justified. I could he have could the cop done better? Maybe. It's possible. I think every incident's a learning incident, but I think it's pretty obvious to me. And yeah, Tones, I don't know why I didn't even think about that. The way he was doing this and that and pointing down when he was raising his hands up and down was very odd. Is very weird. So he may not have been entirely stable, but yeah. The alpha and the maybe if that's what you're referring to, Damien, that may be why he's pointing down, like the alpha and the omega, like alpha pointing up and omega pointing down. I don't know. Very weird, but again, I feel like the cop obviously it was definitely in fear for his life, and I felt like the shooting was justified. So anyhow. That's why I wanted to say. That's the only reason why I wanted to stream it today, because I know Chili was live talking about it, and obviously he talks a lot of crap. And I fully expect a lot more people to talk about it as well. So I'm just gonna leave it there. It's the only reason why I wanted to talk about it. And I think this is where I'm gonna stop and let it go. Goodness gracious. Sorry, I'm yawning. Bad idea. Thank you, Hitchbot, for the $5. I agree with you. The problem is people associate the wrongful conviction when the two aren't connected. Without that, nobody would question this. I mean, probably not. I agree. Like I said, it's probably getting more attention solely because there may be more attention to how the cop initiated the stop because of the circumstances surrounding Leonard. But yeah, I kind of agree with you that it's like one of those things where it's a headline catcher that, oh my God, he was wrongfully convicted and then he got killed. And he's not even in the same state. The conviction was in Florida, whereas he was stopped by a Georgia deputy. Yes, Jerry, that's all I'm gonna stream. So I'm gonna stop it there. I'm gonna leave it as is. No, the cop, Brad, thanks for streaming today. I do feel bad for the officer dealing with this. It's not like he started wanting this to happen. I mean, the cop was clearly distraught afterwards. You know, I saw the video start to finish. If you wanted to see the video, you guys are free to do that on the police activity. The cop was obviously in an adrenaline rush afterwards, hyperventilating. And then ultimately he did try to give Leonard medical care. He had to wait until I think the Brinks security officer was able to cover him while he put handcuffs on him. I'm sure people are going to talk about that. I don't think it's, you know, I think it's fine that in the sense that I doubt it's proper practice to try and give aid. I don't know. I am assuming that they would want to have the suspect secured before they're able to render aid. And it was just him by himself before the Brink security guard was able to come in. Anyhow, all right, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate you for all your support. I will probably see you guys tomorrow. I'll figure out what we're gonna do then at the time. But thanks, guys. Take care and have a good one. See ya.